Are you still stuck at home, or maybe you were free for a while but you also got quarantined for a second round? Then it is my duty to also give you a second round of manga to read. If your crappy, cheap student apartment is giving you claustrophobia right now, then let me help you escape from your crappy reality by starting off with two great isekai. How a realistic hero rebuilt the kingdom. Basically, they took the best part about the slime bro isekai, which is the kingdom management of course, and made a full manga out of that alone. As always, random guy gets randomly isekai'd after literally 4 pages to be summoned by the king of blah 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 and the evil demons and nya nya nya, but instead of asking the guy to go kill some demon lord, the king is like, yo, I don't wanna deal with this bullshit no more. I didn't sign up for this. You take the crown, take the kingdom, take my daughter too while you're at it. I don't care. Now I'm gonna go to Hawaii and go play the circus with my wife's massive titties. Then he just disappears and we never saw him again for the rest of the manga. So yeah, as the title is implying, the manga is about a guy rebuilding a kingdom. The isekai genre usually requires the main character to be OP as hell, and yeah, that guy is. But not as a fighter this time, as a politician. This guy has so much knowledge coming straight out of his ass, it doesn't make any sense. He can do anything. He can start an economy from scratch, he knows how to spot tax fraud, he knows how to keep a forest healthy. How much time of his life did that guy wasted on YouTube? All that random knowledge is a bit too relatable, sadly. Watching this dude trying to revive a dying country with zero experience is really freaking entertaining. It's original, it's funny to see him use modern world politics, and it almost makes you feel like you're playing Age of Empire with this guy. I love it! Mushoku tensei. I've mentioned the announcement of the anime recently, but if you can't wait for it or you're just more of a manga reader in general, then please go ahead, because this guy is easy in my top 3 isekai, if not my favorite isekai period. So you got that fat and depressed weeb who got killed by Truckun again, but instead of being reborn in his current form like everyone else, he's actually reborn, like he came out of a vagina again. And what's even more amazing is that he gets to keep all of his previous adult memories as a baby, which makes him a very clever and conscious baby. And because of that, his progression as an OP character is much more logical and believable. He's not just OP because the world decided so, he's overpowered because he decided to put the necessary work into it before even being able to walk. And that makes his grinding much more realistic and enjoyable. I mean, if any of us could start over with our memories, I think we would become overpowered really fast. I think I'd start a dropshipping business at 5 and would be rich and lying bitches at 10. But this isekai is not rising above the rest thanks to its super crazy concept or its mind-blowing plot. Mushoku Tensei is rising to the top thanks to its amazing elementary qualities. The characters are great, the characters are lovable, the character development is real and it's strong, you got awesome and easy to understand world building, and the comedy? It's actually on point, what the fuck? Comedy elements are always terrible in isekai, but I especially love how lots and lots of unpredictable shit keeps happening, and not thanks to some big twist in its concept and story. In fact, it's only original and surprising by not following any isekai trope in its execution. The characters are not generic at all, and you can't predict what they'll do or how they think. And the plot is not about defeating a specific bad guy for once. Actually, a bit like ReZero, we have more of a reactive plot, which is something that I really like. Basically, he arrives in this world without a set main quest that was given to him from the start. Instead, he's just casually reborn, going by his life, and shit comes to him while he simply reacts to that shit. Some people might criticize this plot technique, but I believe it can give the author much more freedom and more original possibilities. I don't know how the anime is going to do compared to the manga, but I can assure you that this is a safe read. My only complaint is that we only get new chapters like once a month, and this is making me lose my mind. Wait, what did you say? Not only does COVID makes you claustrophobic, it also makes you feel very lonely? What? What did you say? You in the back? You've been lonely since the day you were born, nothing to do with COVID? Alright, then I guess it's rom-com time. Tomo-chan is a girl. Well, it's about that girl called Tomo who's a girl. She's in love with her childhood friend, but he can only see her as a dude. Literally. And that's gonna lead the characters to a bunch of funny and awkward situations. It's a sweet young comma where you'll follow the trouble of a cute tomboy who really wants to be acknowledged as a girl. Most characters are really lovable in their own rights, especially the 3 main girls. And despite the 4-panel format, character development is present, and watching the different character dynamics is really entertaining. It's a simple read with nothing really original, but if you want to read a few pages of something light and fun before going to sleep or while taking a fat dump, then Tomo-chan would be a great fit. Though if you can't stand the dense kind of character, this guy is gonna make you kill yourself. Come on, you dumb piece of shit, do you not realize what's happening here? A 10 out of 10 tomboy with a cute fang is right there, what the hell are you doing? Do you have any ideas how many organs I would sell to be in your shoes right now? I'd sell my liver twice. Now for the next one. Take a random rom-com protagonist, inject him with pure testosterone, inject him with some heavy truth serum that forces him to speak whatever shit goes through his mind, and make him overall extremely stupid. Make the girl just as retarded, solid, just as manly, and give her some massive milky bedonkazoos. Chokkyuu Kareshi x Kanojo. This rom-com already feels rather different. Take your sweet and slow-moving shoujo romance and throw that shit out of the window. The two leads have a dynamic that I've never seen in a rom-com before. Not a single shy glance on the side to hide embarrassment, only straight eye contact while screaming completely random shit like goddamn samurais. Even though it's paper, you almost want to turn the volume down because of how much bold letters and sharp bubble there is. The two main characters' personalities is what truly leads the show to this level of fun. Every interaction is so dumb and unreal, there is no way it won't at least make you giggle. And honestly, even if the manga is mostly comedy focused, the childlike stupidity of these guys not only makes them really funny, it also makes them extremely wholesome. It kinda feels like watching dogs trying to get inside with a stick bigger than the door frame. Oh, it's so retarded, I love him! Well, their social clumsiness gives the exact same vibe. Quick warning though, it might be wholesome at times, but this would not be a great pick for NNN, because oof, it can be heavy, like unbearably heavy. If your mind is weak, I would recommend waiting for DDD December. Are you still not entertained? Then for all you shonen trash out there, I got Mission Yozakura Family. You got a very shy middle schooler with hardcore social anxiety. His family died in an accident a while back, which gave him heavy trauma that stops him from speaking to anyone except his childhood friend. But we learn that this childhood friend is actually the heir to the greatest spy family. Many things happen and he ends up having to marry his childhood friend to save her and himself from a terrible fate. Now being part of the family, he's gonna have to train in the way of the spy to protect his wife who's constantly targeted by the most vicious agents in the world. This shonen is very shonen-y. You got epic trainings, you got spy tournaments, you got the classic cool and light atmosphere with a few serious moments. The main character has a mind of steel and more determination that you'll ever have. Also, it's not romance focused, but you got some wholesome waifu moments that will probably make your heart beat again. It might feel a bit classic, but it has been very entertaining so far. The members of the Yozakura family are all eccentrics, which makes them really fun to follow. You got the cool but crazy siscon, the gun freak, the gamer girl hacker, the huge and shy scientist, literally Biscuit from Hunter x Hunter, and the femboy expert in disguise. A manga about the spy world is a pretty rare find, but a good one on top of that is even rarer. Maybe it's not the most serious spy manga you can find out there, but it's a really cool shonen and I easily recommend it. And now let's go for our final category. These are the manga that I recommend the most and the least. Here are my 3 extremely depressing and disturbing pieces of art. Now let's start with Gantz. It all starts with 2 high school students getting run over by a train, and in Gantz, people don't die when they are killed. Instead, these guys wake up in a room with a bunch of other people and a mysterious black ball. The ball gives them some weird leather outfit and some sci-fi looking guns in order to go on some even weirder alien hunts. Basically, the characters are stuck in some kind of games where they have to kill dangerous monsters to earn points. Every time a mission is completed, the survivors are sent back to their regular lives for a while. It could be just a day, it could be weeks, but they always end up sent back to that room to do more monster hunts. And the only way to quit the game for good is to get 100 points. Now yes, I know what you're thinking, but this is a survival game, so by the Japanese national rule of the survival genre, this must be some absolutely unbearable trash. I agree, but guess what? Gantz might be the holy exception. Yes, you still got the deep edginess with sex and violence, you still got the supernatural elements that forces people to do awful shit, but the big difference lies in the characters. Every survival game has some of the worst characters of all time, and when somebody lives long enough, their only development is to become unbearably edgy and unrealistic. In Gantz, every single character is interesting and really well developed a long time. I feel legitimately involved and I'm scared to see the characters die because I really got to love them. It's this mix of moments of pure edge and moments of wholesome humanity that makes the show so strong. Unlike other survival stuff where it's edge from start to finish, Gantz knows how to shift from one side to the other. But even outside of the characters, there is just so much going on for Gantz. There is a lot of twist and complexity to the game, and the story is much more developed than you might think. I love how you start off completely blind about the situation, but bit by bit you start to understand more and more what the hell's going on. The art style is amazing, it's detailed, it's disturbing, and you got some really high-grade nightmare fuel.
Nightmare, 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 nightmare.
Side characters are also quite believable too, because most of them don't even accept the situation or tend to believe it's all a joke. Gantz is an extremely compelling read, but only for the strongest heart. I don't want to spoil anything, but the manga is kind of separated in 2 parts, and the second part of the manga will definitely fuck your brain up and make you wonder what's the point of your own existence. Next meme! manga. So only take the disturbing vibe of Gantz, take The Last of Us, turn Joel into a very disturbed ugly bastard, and finish it with a pinch of schizophrenia. I am a hero. If you thought Gantz was at the peak of awkwardness, you haven't laid your eyes on this one yet. To briefly recap without spoiling, you basically got a weird mangaka with schizophrenia and a shotgun going through a zombie apocalypse and trying to survive. But the story isn't really the main appeal of this manga, at least not at the beginning. This manga's true power comes from its vibe, its art, its characters, and its amount of terrifying events. The type of horror we have here is very different than your average horror manga. It's kinda like a mix of Jinjo Ito visuals alongside some psychological, terrifyingly realistic human interaction. The speed at which people get used to their situation and try to take the most out of it, mixed with the horrifying visuals, created this sort of horror bomb that will blow your genitals into oblivion. You really arrive at the point where you can't tell the difference between insanity and just being down to earth. You got lots of unusual and slightly weird angles that makes every panel even scarier, but also somehow very cinematic. The art style has this extreme realism mixed with goofiness that really makes you want to close your eyes. And even the tiniest things are creepy and awkward here. Kissing your girlfriend through the mailbox, pissing on your imaginary friend, 80% of normal human interactions, the way the zombies open their mouths, and yeah, I hate it so much. I talked about anti-hero before, but that guy is legitimately on another level. Because you know, anti-hero are supposed to be cool in their own way. They're cool by not following the usual hero traits in their journey, which makes them very different. Well, this mad lad of a main character managed to create a whole new category just for himself. The anti-anti-hero. This guy is so uncool in every decision he makes, it's almost unbelievable. His thought process is weird, his face is weird, his reactions are weird, his relationships are weird. You end up developing this sort of love-hate relationship with him because he's a very unpleasant human being in general, but that also makes him so damn entertaining to follow. He gives me the same vibe I had when I was 6 years old and there was like a horror movie on TV and I knew I shouldn't watch it, but I just couldn't keep my eyes off it. And I had nightmares every night for 2 years. That was one of the scariest manga I've ever read and definitely the only time ink on paper was able to send actual chills of terror down my body. And now for the king of the king, the apex predator in the sea of depression. Let me introduce you to Goodnight Punpun. I'm not even gonna try to describe what the manga is or what it's trying to do, but basically we're just following the everyday life and the growth of a guy named Punpun. Now let me tell you this. This manga is absolutely fascinating and amazing in every goddamn way, but I had to stop reading it midway because this shit was literally giving me depression. It was legitimately making me feel sad and hopeless on a daily basis. And not the, my favorite character died kind of sad. It was real sadness that follows you after you drop the book. Kind of sadness that follows you in the shower to watch your below average sized penis. I started reading this back when I was in high school and I couldn't even focus in class anymore. I would open my eyes and just think about it. The weirdness and the darkness of this manga could not get out of my head. But no matter how negative my reaction was, I do consider it an amazing work of art because how can a piece of paper give you such powerful, evil emotions? It's almost like magic. It felt like reading a cursed magical grimoire of depression. Punpun is portrayed by this weird duck thing. There's so much symbols and imagery of despair. You got these very bad life morals and all these messages of hopelessness that are telling you that you're not going anywhere in life. The whole punch of this manga comes from these very abstract visuals and jokes that are here to show us some very exaggerated reality. Like they took everything bad about mankind and pushed it to a level that makes everything and everyone sound completely insane. Like people from cults who comes knocking on your door are now 100% more crazy than in real life. The scary director of your elementary school is now 100% scarier. Your teacher is now 100% more teacher. The children's social ladder is now 100% more cruel. Heartbreak are 100% more heartbreaking, and that's the thing. They took all these real life elements that you must have experienced at least once and just pushed the sliders to 100%. That was some really disturbing and depressing content that I only recommend to people who feels emotionally very stable. I legit almost didn't add it to the list because I have no idea what it could do to you if you're in actual quarantine. Sorry for recommending all that disturbing stuff, but I've really been into it lately. It's kind of like a phase that comes every few years. So if you're interested in any of the manga I just recommended, leave a fat like, my dude. Also, yes, I have a mustache now and we have a different setup today. I've been looking for my regular mic all goddamn day, but I think it probably fell into a black hole at this point. Now, as always, you have a wonderful day and I'll see you lovely weebs next week.